Hey, it's your girl, Pastor Angela Johnson. Of course, I am one sister to another. Hey, one sister to another. Hey, it's your girl, Pastor Angela Johnson. Of course, we're one sister to another podcast, and we are live. Y'all need to go tell somebody. We're live. It's a Saturday. The sun is shining. I pray that you guys are doing magnificent, phenomenal, because we get ready to get out with the get down. Y'all ain't gonna believe who our guest is today. All I can tell you is you better pull up your bootstraps, because he gonna take us there. He already just told us, well, whoever you wake up as is who he is. Come on here. Look, I can't do this thing one sister to another podcast with a show with information, inspiration, and limitless God affirmations. I can't do it without my girl. Of course, she is Maite on the Johnson. She a Johnson. I'm not no more. I'm Angela Smith. She doggone Johnson. She taking it. Say hi, Maite. See, we you don't know what to say, right?
Oh, listen. All right. Well, let me give it up too. Then I'm gonna go back to Jones. All right. How about that? But no, good afternoon, everybody. Thank y'all for joining us. Such a awesome privilege to be here. I tell y'all every week. I'm so excited to even be a part. Thank you for joining. Join our Facebook. Click live. Share. Our guest is amazing. Wait until you see who it is. We're gonna have a good time.
Awesome. Listen, we want to make sure we do a couple of things before we, of course, bring our guests on, y'all. Make sure you are going to the YouTube. Go to YouTube and subscribe to One Sister to Another Media 33. One Sister to Another Media 33. Go ahead out there, subscribe, and you're going to be alerted when we're on, okay? One Sister to Another Media 33. And when you see us go live, up there in the live button, just press it, and you're going to be right in here, and you'll be able to, of course, keep up with the camaraderie that's going on right here in the YouTube. But Maite, tell them how they can do on any. Actually, I'm watching YouTube, and then Maite, you're going to be watching what?
I'm watching Facebook. Yes, I'm watching Facebook.
You're going to be watching the Facebook. So, of course, One Sister to Another Media 33. You can get in there. If you subscribe to that YouTube channel, you'll get in there. You'll go live with us, and you'll be able to, of course, comment. We'll be able to see your comments. But if you go to the Facebook, Maite is monitoring the Facebook, and we'll give you a couple of shouts out as the Lord leads, okay? Don't trip, and we don't call your name out. Because today, somebody say, today we may not be able to call no names out because this man may have Jesus rain down fire from heaven. Look, our guest is deemed the social media guru. Our executive producer tomorrow. I'm giving y'all her name so y'all can look for her. You better not look for her. Look, our executive producer deems him as being the conversationalist. He is in the person of our brother. We talked to him before the show went on, y'all. He's in person of our brother, none other than, and he married, y'all, none other than September to Remember. He's here. Say hi to the folks, September Petty. You got to hit your button. We can't hear you, September.
Okay, let me unmute this thing.
There you go. You live.
Oh, okay. How's everybody?
We're doing good. We're doing good.
Great.
We know that the folk are doing good. Guess what? September. You do not know, but we've been anticipating. Man, it's almost like you the Holy Ghost, okay? we've been anticipating your coming. We've been anticipating that you're going to be hanging out with us, of course.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, we're excited that I don't know if you necessarily know Maite, but we're excited that you decided to give us a yes. But just so you know, and the folk too, we don't take no for an answer.
she's been a Facebook friend of mine for a long time. So I had to, when she reached out to me, I said I'll absolutely be on the show, and I love doing stuff like this. It's very, very fun to me because I just get to be myself.
You get to be yourself.
Mind.
Yeah, and you know what? I think it's just so important too. I think this is gonna cause all of us to gel together a little bit too, because we got a couple of types of we've got a genre of social media folk who are hanging out with us today, and we realize that. But I think people kind of confuse confuse the fact that because we're pastors, we're leaders, or whoever we may be, right? Myself and Maite, Tamara, our team, we're saved, but guess what? We're also real people with real issues. Right. Watch this. Our theme for the month is, am I my brother's keeper? So we call it the month of the men. Now, check this out. Yes. Myself and Maite, we single, right?
Right.
So we looking for us some good men. Okay, but anyway, that ain't got nothing to do with you. But you
and they out there.
Anyway,
and they out there.
We want to talk about September. We want to talk about brotherhood. We want to talk about what you can do as a brother, what I can do redirecting my brothers to a brother like you or whomever. Yeah. What can we do to help our brothers out? So I want to kick the show off today, and this is going to be non-traditional. We unorthodox all the way around. So I don't want you to think anything you say today is other than we don't think you're going to cuss. But anyway, if you slip one in, we're going to go on and we're going to bind the devil. We want you to share with us, September, who you are, and maybe some things people don't or a thing people really don't know about you. And then we're going to get off into, we're going to talk about our brothers, because it ain't just about brotherhood. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But it's about the brothers. Come on here, Mike.
Well, I'm gonna start by saying this a little bit about me. I mean, I've been on Facebook for a long time. And it was the time before I got married, I was very, very controversial. I used to say some wild stuff.
He's still controversial.
Well, I think I've toned down a little bit compared to what I was, but I was very, very controversial. And I have something that's called September Please Post. And it's something that it started off with just one person sending me this question and post on my page. Then it turned into like every day I have 5 or 6. Until now I got like 20 to 25 in my inbox every day of people saying, post this for me. And my thing is, my motto has always been, I'll never, ever say who that person is. I always delete it afterwards. So that way it's no trace of it, any of that, but the post is out there. And I ask people ahead of time, hey, if you can handle it, I'll post it. If you can't, I'm telling you, these people are either going to praise you or they're going to roast you. But you got to be able to accept the good or the bad or the ugly, whatever comes with it. So that was my start, and that really took off. And then just other things along the way. Now, one thing that they don't know about me is I've been in marketing and advertising since 1994. I started out in the music business. I started out working for Warner Electric Atlantic Records. I started out there. Then I moved into corporate America at Accenture and EY and all of that type of stuff. So that's some of the things that they don't know. So, and also in college, I took a debate class because I wanted to do something. When Facebook first really started getting popular, I wanted to be able to debate with people without getting upset and arguing, because sometimes when you get on Facebook and there's a conversation, people go to the negative and start cussing each other. They want to fight. They want this and that. And I had to learn how to debate without getting upset or getting in my feelings without making it personal.
But you know what? You can't help it. You can't help it. I'm looking in your face sometimes. You can't. But you know what we call that from where I come from? I think I often say this to Tamara and to Maite. It's called passion too. I do realize that some people are just more passionate than others. Let us ask you this question real quick. Okay. Do you feel like men need to take a lead to cure violence? Should men take the lead to cure the violence that's in the world right now?
Well,
or how should they do that?
So with the violence in the world, a lot of that stuff, you have to understand the situation of communities and things of that nature and how this all began. And you got a lot of people with nothing, and they're all on top of each other. Like the projects was created it was really an experiment, right? To see how, because think about it, downtown, a high-rise building is nothing but a project, right? But the people in those projects have the money to be able to afford to live there. But if you take a project like where I grew up now, the Rosenwald is redone and reimagined. But when I grew up over there, it was a straight up projects. It was one way in, one way out, right on 47th in Michigan. It looked like the Carter Apartments, but bigger. And it was all these people stacked up on top of each other. and nobody has anything. And there was an anger, but there was still a code to the streets. But certain things happen in Chicago. Think about when Gator Wallace started the 21st Century Vote, and all of the gang members went downtown and they did all these things. What happened after that? They locked up all of those gang leaders.
Yes, they
so
did.
Now these young boys were out there with no leadership. So what do? They just out there. So a lot of them are not listening to the pastors because they feel like, their grandmothers have been taken for a ride by pastors. They feel that way. Some. They feel that, hey, man, that pastor, man, they didn't help my grandmother. My grandmother was in their church for 20 years. And they could barely get their bills paid. I mean, there's so many things. So there's so much anger. Then you gotta. There's so many factors of trying to work with the youth and this and that. The one of the big problems that I have is we spend too much time talking at them instead of talking to them.
Wow.
Because we're older now, we feel like we could talk at them and tell them all this and that. They don't want to hear that.
No.
They don't want to hear all of that. Talk to me like I'm a person. Don't talk at me, because the streets is different. Things have changed. So it is so much work that has to be done behind the scenes. One person that I do, and I would love him to be on you guys' show, is Enoch Muhammad. He has a program called Hip Hop Detox.
Wow.
He works with the youth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he has another program that he has called Males to Men. And the program works solely with the youth and getting them to understand and getting them on the right track. You have to get people who are passionate about working with the kids in order to get them to move. They're not going to move because you say I'm a pastor or I'm a this or I'm a that. They don't care about that. They're concerned about money now.
So you know what? Honestly, you really are creating segue to us, myself and my type, kind of asking you then, how can we jail? How can people like us, strong women like us, and this is not about strong women, of course, but how do we necessarily jail with that community leader? How do you believe that community leader will jail with us? Or how can we get them to listen? Because myself and Maite we're not women that are just getting off the train, so to speak. Yeah. We are out here with young Black men. Our boys are old enough now to make babies and be married and all of this stuff. What do you think what can we do as a whole?
As a whole, only thing we can do is talk to our own children. It starts at our own home first.
Absolutely. You
can't talk to somebody outside if you have. It's like, how you gonna help somebody outside and you're not helping the person on the inside?
That's good.
You're hollering, you're cussing them out, and you're telling them just get off that game, do this, do that. When are we gonna take a moment and sit down with them and play that game with them? Understand why they playing it. Understand what's the excitement about the game.
You handling your business right now. You saying something.
I mean, sometimes I think the problem is we are so busy trying to live our own lives, do what we do. We don't even want to put our own cell phone down, but we want them to put their cell phone down. That's the problem. You want to sit on Facebook all day, laugh, joke, post all your twerk videos, post all your videos as a guy, whatever it is. Whatever videos it is, I want to get cussed out just yet. I'm waiting for later.
Okay, we got something for you.
I'm like, oh my God.
Time. Like, let's just be honest. When's the last time, and you can ask some of your people, when's the last time that you sat down at the table with your kids without a phone and actually had a conversation with them? When's the last time you asked your kids what they're passionate about? When? We don't do that. We don't sit down. When the last time as somebody, and this is not towards you guys, I'm just saying, period. When's the last time you sent a motivating text to your child like, man, God has got you. You the best. You look, whatever you do, you're going to be successful at. When the last time you sent them that text to encourage them, to inspire them, to uplift them? That's what they need. That's what leaders are about. I've been a leader with my children in that way for a long time, because that question is always asked. Listen, what do you want to do? What are you passionate about? I'm always asking that question, because you can't be passionate about what I want you to be passionate about. If you want to be a teacher and I want you to be an engineer, you're not going to be happy with being an engineer because you wanted to teach. But I projected my fears on you saying, oh, they don't pay enough or they don't this or that, instead of allowing you to do what you want to do and grow. So that's how we started that whole conversation of building and uplifting our children. First and foremost, we got to get at the table with our own children. And then
So
when they friends come over, we got to do that with their friends. When their friends come over, come on, sit down and have dinner with us. Remember, Big Mama and them Big Mama and them fed everybody.
Yep.
Anybody that came over, she fed you, but she had that conversation with you. Now, what you doing out here in these streets, boy? You better not be out there selling them drugs. You know that's nowhere fast. You know, Big Mama always, and your granddad.
And your granddad.
He gonna tell you.
And they would have the right conversations, talk to us just about that part of it.
Yep.
I agree with everything he's saying. We do have to have the conversation with our children. We have to have activities also with our kids, take them somewhere. And it's not all about money. I mean, there are a lot of free things that we can do. And that's one of the things that I love about September. I was telling him off the air is that I love who he is as a provider, as a father, as a husband, as a family man. I have watched him. I actually went to school with your wife. Actually, we went to high school together. And
Marshall.
Commandos. And so I actually thought it would be great to have him because this series is Am I My Brother's Keeper? And I feel he has a lot to offer. So my question is to your peers who may be raising sons and everything, like, do you treat them like they're your nephews? Do you do activities with them?
That's good.
Family activities. And then I know do you have any sons?
Yes. So I have a son. So my son is 31. My daughter just turned 21. And then I have a 16-year-old. So if you all notice, when my son, he was in basketball all the time. My oldest was in basketball all the time. But when Facebook really got going, it was with my daughter. Like a lot of times my daughter, because as a father with them girls, you got to keep a good hand, especially I wasn't always just a nice guy in the streets when it came to ladies. I was a ladies' man. So, when you got a daughter, it's like that's that thing God bring that daughter for you to kind of get you in line.
That is true though, y'all. That's what my daddy said.
And all the players get a daughter. Always happens like that. So if you go back, anybody go back and look at my Facebook, you would see me taking my daughter on the weekends downtown to the museums. I would take her down there because everything was free, like you said. All she wanted was McDonald's. Any of my kids, they just wanted that McDonald's, something fun, to be with their dad, to go do things. And that's what I did. We get on the metro train. Kids love the metro. You put them on that little top thing upstairs, let them see, take them downtown, and just, there's so many museums. And just actually, I used to just find the free days, like the Shedd Aquarium and the Planetarium, Museum of Science and Industry. I would find those days, and those days we would go. And it would be a whole lesson. I would have a notebook. We would write down what we learned, what we saw, and we would just talk about it. And that's pretty much, and my children all went to, like my son, my youngest is 16. He's almost got his 26 credit hours. So he'll be starting off just like my daughter. He'll be starting off, I guess, as a sophomore in college. Once he starts, he'll have to go through that freshman phase, but that next semester of January, he'll probably end up being a sophomore. That's the same thing that happened with my daughter. She started out as a freshman, but in January she became a sophomore. She's at Purdue University. And then my oldest, he went to Indiana University in Bloomington. So he went to IU Bloomington.
Oh,
so just being a father, man, being there.
You know, you just said that too. You just said father, father, father. Why do I keep thinking September? What can we do to, how do we put that daddy back in the house? I mean, I think this, I hear people talking about it, but nobody has really been about it. Can I say it that way? How can we put
really
the
want me to
dad
answer that. That might get me in trouble. You trying to get me in trouble now.
How can we put the dad back in the crib? Me and Maite want to know, because I want me one of them.
First and foremost, a lot of young ladies really do have to make better dating decisions. You know,
okay,
I think
can
a lot
you
of
slow
times
down, slow down now. Now say it again. Now say
gotta
it
make
again.
better
What we
dating
need
decisions.
to do?
Make better dating decisions. You know, it's you get out here, you meet this guy, you're super excited right away, you're ready to jump into something, and he ain't ready
You
yet.
don't even know his last name.
You don't know his last name, but you jump and you ready. And then when you get your feelings hurt, now you blaming everybody. Now you so in your feelings, you so upset. But you set yourself up for that failure. You set yourself up. The same thing with the guys. I mean, listen, you knew what you was getting into when you met that girl. You knew what she was about. You knew what she was on.
That girl.
And you accepted that. You knew what she was on. You met her at the strip club. You met her at the club. What you can't fall in love with the
She ain't
club
said
chick,
no.
You fall in love with the club chick. That's what happened. Now you're in your feelings because you got 18 years of child support payments. That's a personal problem. Just gotta make better dating decisions.
You know what? Now you handling your bit. Look, I told the people, and might tell you gonna jump in here, but I told my people, and I gotta deliver what I promised. I told my folk I was gonna ask you this, because see, now we going there. We done talked about the old calm stuff, okay, y'all? Now we're gonna go just this the YouTube, Facebook version, okay? We was in the church version before. Okay, I promised my people that I was gonna ask you, do you agree that guys want the bigger piece of the chicken, but bump working at being a better version of themselves, so his wife, his significant other can be better at being her better self? You know what I'm saying? So in other words, whatever you present to me, that's what you're gonna pull out of me, right?
That's right.
Versus want me to show up in my purpose, and you ain't giving me nothing to work.
And you ain't giving me nothing, right?
A lot of guys want the bigger piece of the chicken, but you really don't want to work. You don't want to do the work.
But here's the thing. You know where that comes from? So a lot of the women, and this is not everybody. So again, I don't want to get cussed out, but I'm gonna say this: a lot of women that I know personally have raised their daughters and they have coddled their sons. They have put that arm around their son and they have protected him from everything in the world. That's why he don't want to do nothing. But that daughter, get your butt up and clean this house up. Wash them dishes. Do this, do that. They put that girl to work. She better get all A's. If she get anywhere near C, she getting a whooping. She getting no punishment. She can't have nothing, no freedom.
That is so true.
That boy get a C, and you know what she say? Oh, well, he just having some disabilities. His daddy ain't in his life.
You know what? And that is true, because I've seen that in my own family, which is why I didn't cut my son any slack. I remember like when I had PTO days and I was like, I'm gonna take a day off. And my mom, you better go to work, they're gonna fire you. But my cousin, it was like he had just gotten a job and hadn't worked like in 30 years, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna quit this job. This job is too hard. Yeah, I understand it's hard, and if you gotta quit, go ahead and quit. And I'm like, what? Why are we so hard on the women and not as hard on the men? So I didn't cut no slack with my son, and they was like, too hard on him. No, I got this. That's
the problem. That's the problem. I mean, you know, all the slack is cut for son. Son is, man, just pat him on the back. He doing the best he can. Like, no, he's not doing the best he can.
He's not
doing the best he can.
Somebody said first it has to start with your own union as a family. The majority of people can outside the home of helping majority of the nation as a union. Okay. And so,
but that's the same thing I said, right? It starts at home, right?
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? What do you think? What do you think we're failing, September? Because you don't want to be controversial, but you are. But we like that because you tell the doggone truth. Now talk to me. Talk to us a little bit about what do you think we're failing, and what do you think we need to start if we want a better brother to show up in our spaces as good women?
Stop allowing him to get away with things that you know that you wouldn't allow anybody else to get away with.
My. You better say that
you
again.
gotta stop allowing them to get away with various things. I mean, just that's the key to it all. It's like you accept some, on either side, when you accept certain behavior, you have to deal with that. You accepted that behavior. Think about it. Like, you accepted that behavior. You accepted
Name some behavior we accept.
Okay, so you're dating the guy, right? You're dating the guy, right? You talk to the guy all day, right? But at 9 o'clock, his phone don't work.
Now, what's up with that? He's stealing calls.
You know what's up with that. And then he called you in the morning talking about good morning, Queen, and Grand Rising, and what you doing?
Right, like where you been?
That fool hit you back in the morning like nothing just happened last night. Like, he ain't just not answer none of your calls.
Pull off. Tell us what he be doing. What's going on when they do that?
No, I can't do that. That's bro code. I don't know what he's doing. You got to use your imagination. Now you trying to get me set. You setting me up. You setting me up to get do that.
Basically, don't accept it. It don't matter what you're doing. Don't accept it.
Just don't accept it.
Right. If you got a cutoff time. I mean,
it might have been the first one night that his phone actually died. He was hanging with his homies. You accept that. But if every night his phone died, 8:35.
Like, what you turning into at night? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, something ain't right with that one.
But if you accept that, then that's what it is.
True.
It is what it is.
You're entertaining BS. And a lot of people entertain BS because, hey, you like the person, you trying to get something or whatever the case may be, you accepting whatever it is, Tell Robin I said thank you. I'm talking real talk. I appreciate that.
Great. Look, I'm looking at some stuff on your page, right? Because I want to get you stirred. If someone stays the night at your home, please give them more than one towel. What? Look, if a brother, talk to us just a little bit about. Why don't you tell us this? The theme of the show, the theme of our month is "Am I my brother's keeper?" I want you to talk to our brothers right now about how they can win the prize.
Okay, I'll use myself as an example. So I was married, my children, I was married to my children's mom. It was amazing. She's an amazing woman. We grew up in a marriage. So every mistake that I made it in a marriage. Good, bad, or ugly, I made it in a marriage. So we got divorced. And from that point, I said to myself, I was going to be honest with the women that I dated, no matter what, whether they liked it or not, I was going to give them my truth. And I'm telling you, I went through a lot, but I met my wife. And when I met my wife, we met by accident. Like, I was taking my daughter out to eat on a Sunday. And I met her we was at a little restaurant on 75th Street. They're not even open anymore. But I was with my daughter, and she came in with a friend of hers. Now, I didn't talk to her because I had this rule where I don't talk to, women. I don't try to get to know a woman or try to talk to a woman when I got my daughter with me, because I give her the same respect that I would give a woman that I'm out with. Like this is your time. This is not time for dad to try to find somebody or this or that. This is your time, so I'm going to invest my time into you. So when I saw her, we didn't talk. We gave each other eye contact, but that was that. I saw her on Facebook 3 days later, and I jumped in her inbox. I thought that was going to work. It didn't quite work because it didn't quite work. It was like, yeah, I liked you, but I'm kind of seeing somebody right now, so it was cool. So we got together. So, months later or whatever, we got together. Now, this is where the truth comes in, and I think this was the start of everything. She asked me certain questions, and she was very, very, she wanted to know, and she was waiting on me to lie. One of the things that we ask as couple, when you're dating somebody, when the last time you had sex? Something as simple as that really changed her perspective and outlook of me, because she thought I was going to say like every other man, oh, I ain't did nothing in a while. You know, it's been a minute. No, I said I had sex 2 days ago. I was honest. I was honest as shit. You know what I mean? Like, just putting it all out there, like, hey,
but throw it us
what
a
it was.
bit. But September, throw it us. And Mayte, you may disagree, and that's okay because me and Mayte will disagree. Throw it us. Why does it even matter when the last time I had sex? Why would that matter?
Because here's the thing. That's something that's a conversation piece that people ask. They ask some of the, they ask a lot of.
Brian say he right there with you. What you right there with him, Brian? That you want to know when the lady had sex the last time? I don't think that matters. But go ahead.
Brian could be.
Listen, it may not matter.
We don't know what Brian is saying.
But people BS so much, they lie about something as simple as that.
Yeah.
So sometimes just asking a question, you find out. And to me, that was a big moment to her, because of the fact that, hey, he was honest enough to tell me what his situation was, what it was. And we just, we talked on the phone, we had this friendship and we built it. And I mean, my wife is my best friend. I can talk to her about anything.
So brothers tell the truth.
I told the truth to her.
Your advice to our brothers because of course I call them our little A, B's, and C's to this theme this month too is Real Talk Men. Let's talk relationships. We talk? How can we help our brothers out? So you're saying honesty really is the best policy.
Honesty is the best policy, but the other part of it is you got to be able to be with a woman that you could be yourself around. Yeah. If you can't be yourself around this person, you're wasting your time. Most times, guys, they can't be themselves around, or that woman can't be herself around the guy. It's certain things that, like, think about it. There are some women that are very, very attractive. They dress provocatively, and then you meet this guy, and he says he can handle whatever. But once he's in a relationship with you, he really can't handle what he said he can handle, and vice versa. There's some men out here who do, like, he might be a bodybuilder, he might be a trainer, and he's around women all the time, and you say you can handle it, and then when the time comes and you in a relationship and you say that L word, now everything changes. Now he can't have you got to know every client he got. You got to know what time he got to check in all day. Like, that's not what we signed up for. We adults. Right? We supposed to be adults.
Right. So
if we're adults, then listen, you're supposed to trust me. Now, if you don't trust me, then we don't need to be together.
Okay.
Because listen, for me, my password, my phone, my wife can go through it. She can go through my Facebook. She has access to everything.
See, I love that. See, you got any brothers?
I do, but my brother's something else.
Oh, okay. So
go ahead, Mayte.
Well, he did tell you, Angela, that he know where the good brothers are. Remember, he said they out there at the beginning of the show.
They out there.
He'll tell you where they are.
Yeah, I mean, you know what?
Okay, so tell the world, tell One Sister to Another podcast platform, where are the good brothers, Mr. September? Where are they?
They're everywhere, but here's the problem. Some of y'all got a checklist of stuff so long, even if he is a good brother, he ain't good enough for you. It's like it's never enough. Like, okay, you got this long checklist of what do's and don'ts, what I got to have, what I don't got. You got all this stuff.
You know, you get ready to help some brothers right now.
You don't allow yourself to just fall into the situation. You don't even give a man a chance to have a decent conversation with you, because you drawing the line on everything that you require. All your checklist of requirements ain't helping you get nothing but a bedroom by yourself.
So
and a rose toy. That's all you get.
Don't play with me. Anyway, I ain't got no. But anyway, but you know what? But so you're saying that, September. So we're speaking of the women who are not like myself and Mayte. But then the Maytes and the Angelas of the world, we're saying, now watch this. You tell us if we're wrong. We're saying, brother, I do need you to have a car. Hold on, brother. I need you to have your own house. Brother, I need you to have your own bank account. That's basic.
That's
Are
basic.
we wrong? Are we wrong for saying
No.
that? Because there's no deal breaker. I don't care if you say I was
Now,
wrong or not wrong.
now listen.
I'm gonna tell you I'm right.
Now,
Okay.
I ain't say nothing about you have to date a broke man. I didn't say nothing.
Okay, I just
No
wanna make sure.
homosexuals, nothing like that. I
Okay,
didn't say
but what
none
are
of
you
that.
talking about? Throw in what
I'm
you
just
think we're
talking about, like, man, like, you got these checklists. I mean, because I think corporate America has our women just so robotic, become so robotic because you in this box and nobody wants to step outside of the box and just be free to be themselves and to speak your mind and come from a pure heart, man. And that's the problem. You nobody's free no more. Everybody is so boxed in. There's so many rules and regulations you got to go with. It's like you need a whole manual for some of these women. And it's like, why? You out here working
did he just say we needed a manual? We need
a whole manual.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what they think about us, Angela. They think that did you see the post where it says how to please a man, and it's like 5 things on the list, and then it says how to please a woman. It's probably like 200 things on the list. Like that's what they think.
It is that. Y'all listen.
It's
A man
because we're here today. We telling you
a man could wash your car and detail the inside. He left a speck of dirt on your rims. Well, he ain't cleaned the rims all the way good.
No,
what?
No, not us.
Wash and clean your whole car. Thank you, baby. But the rims, you couldn't have put no awesome on them and spray to get the chrome right. Like, it's never enough. That's why they say it's never enough money and it's never enough sex, because it's gonna always be somebody out there with more that's gonna do better, and you're gonna be chasing a waterfall if you keep trying to go after these things. Try to find some balance, you know.
Okay, so when you and your wife was getting together, so you jumped in the inbox, wasn't a good time. A couple of months later, y'all started going out. Were you her typical type? Was she your typical type? Like, what happened? Like when?
No, I wasn't her typical type, because you know what? I plan dates. Guys don't plan dates no more. That's the thing. To me, leadership starts with planning the damn date. Leadership starts, and you can say this, Pastor. Leadership starts with planning a date. If you can't properly plan a date with the woman, you ain't even no leader anyway. Yeah,
I think we both agree, right? By saying. I do.
Yes, that's the start, because like I would call her and be like, hey, this Saturday we're gonna go here. And she'd be like, but you didn't even see if I was busy. Well, if you're not busy, then I would like to go here. And that was kind of strange there, because I always want to do something. Let's go somewhere. Like, I like roller coasters and
that's me.
Fun stuff. Like, man, we don't have to on the first date. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm not taking you to a $300 restaurant on the first date. I will not do it. I don't give a damn how fine you look. It's not happening.
Take me to give me some real
fun. I keep saying that on Facebook. I want a fun date. I keep saying
a fun date.
Me too. A fun date. Don't take. I don't want to go out to dinner and dress up. I can put on some Yeezys and have
a good time.
And have a good time.
Do you know some of my best dates ever was just walking? Well, you can't do it now because of they say it's violent downtown. But I used to the best dates I've ever had was just walking down the street, having a conversation downtown on Michigan Avenue on the Mag Mountain.
That is looking.
Man, y'all walking, y'all talking, y'all laughing,
wishing about the shoes in the window. Come on here.
He got stuck.
Hoping and wishing.
Yeah. But
come on, y'all. I don't know what I'm talking about. It don't take all that. That's something that your friends done told you about. Some of these women can't, or some people, you can't even afford to go to these restaurants. But you going. You spent your whole check with this girl for one date because you think you finna get somewhere, and she give you that church hug afterwards. Now you ain't.
Did he just say the church hug?
The church hug. You spent all this money. So is that what you talk to your bras about? Like,
you done spent all your bread and she done sit you on. She done gave you that church hug.
And
took some food home.
Okay, so I'm getting somewhere. You already know where I'm trying to get. I'm trying not to jump. Well, okay, I'm gonna jump. Okay, so you and your wife, you know, you guys were dating in court, and I watched it play out on Facebook. And then you guys planned your destination wedding, which was beautiful.
Thank you.
You came back from the wedding, and you noticed some people who RSVP didn't show up. So then,
oh God, come on, talk about it. Help our brothers out. Help the people.
Like, I should send an invoice out.
Yeah. You know what? Because I'm petty like that. I'm an a-hole like that. Because here was the thing. We planned the wedding a year beforehand. So we had everybody all set. We were really, really trying to help people. Some people, you know how it is. They couldn't get their passport. We had to send them to Bobby Rush and all of that to get their stuff expedited, the whole 9. So there were people that was like, yeah, I'm coming. So we had 108 people go to Jamaica with us. That's fine. But there were 8 more people who did not show up. So here's the thing. I gave them, so August 1st, I said, August 1st, I need to know if y'all gonna still be able to make it. These people said yes. Then by the 8th, I said, hey, can you still make it? I'm checking with everybody. Everybody said that they could make it. That's fine. So we get there and there's nobody. None of those people showed up. So I came on Facebook and I simply said, hey, would I be wrong if I sent you this invoice for wasting my time? Because I gave you more than enough time to do this. I never sent it to him, but I threatened it and it went viral all over the world. Like I'm talking about in Budapest and Hungary, people, I was getting media all over the world. Steve Harvey, Gayle King. I mean, every major news outlet had it on their show. And so it was quite a debacle, but it kind of upset my wife because they were trying to blame it on her, but it was like, no, it was me. Okay. I did this because I'm petty enough to do this. And I was defending my wife because she wasn't handling it well. For me, I've done marketing and I've learned that if you go viral, sometimes you just got to be quiet and let the people talk. Mm-hmm. Because the debates were, was it classless? Was it this? Was it that? Hell no. If I spent my money on you and you told me you were coming and you didn't, I have a right to be upset. You can't tell me I can't be upset because you wasted my money and my time.
That's all we say.
You can't do that.
Maite, do you agree with him?
I do agree with him that he has a right to be upset, if people waste your money and your time. I knew the whole invoice thing when he created it because I watched it as it played out. I knew he was joking. I knew he wasn't gonna send it. But then when he came and posted the actual invoice, people took it and ran with it. That thing went viral in no time. So I mean, do you have a group of brothers? What were your brothers saying? Like
What were they saying to you?
I mean,
so they were just laughing because you guys didn't see the actual wedding. So my best friends and her brother and her cousin. So we did a thing where each one of them walked her part of the way down the aisle.
That's awesome.
See, my brothers keep it for real.
Wow.
I've got real friends. So they walked her down and then her actual brother walked her to me.
Wow.
So that's how we did it. And we got the video for it.
Yes. Tell me something right here on Facebook. Robin Castro says, and I love this. You tell me how you would deal with this with one of your brothers, with your brother. I disagree because we can be so free, but at the same time, when you get stepped on for speaking real and being free, the relationship definitely changes. So what she's saying is, September, you got a sister like myself and Maite who we speak freely. What do you say to your brother who comes to you and say, you know what, she needs to shut up sometime? Because see, my mama raised or my daddy or my mama didn't talk a lot, and my mama would get in there, wash the dishes, Well, we're not those kind of women. What
did I just say earlier about the mama coddling the boy? So everything he learned from a woman. So he's taking emotional, feminine traits and behavior. That's what it is. It's like, brother, your wife or your woman is not a slave. She's there to be a helpmeet. sometimes she's in a better position than you. We're coming
Say
up
that
now
part
in
right
the
there,
age of
E.
empowerment.
Sometimes. Say that part right there one more
Yeah.
time. So they can
Sometimes
hear
she's
it
in a
the
better
back.
position than you, and you have to be able to play a role yourself. You know, sometimes you have to take a step back and allow her thing to flourish. So, prime example, my wife worked in the pharmaceutical. She worked in a pharmaceutical company. So she was upset because they let her go. They did a massive layoff at the time. I told her, she was like, well, I need to go look for a job, this or that. I said, listen, I'm going to take care of the bills. I need you to follow and pursue the passion the things you're passionate about, which is her cakes. She has the bakery now, Pookie Crack Cakes. But before Pookie Crack Cakes, she was just selling her cakes. So I said, you need to work on something that will take you to the next level. And then I'm going to support you 100%. I'm going to back your play. And when she finally came up with it, and she created those amazing loaves, and everybody went crazy over it,
Yes,
I put the whole weight of myself behind my wife. That's what a leader does.
That's a real man.
I put the weight, everything, finance, energy, time, marketing, everything to promote my wife. And that's what I did. It wasn't about, because listen, whatever I want to do in life, I can do it. I have no doubt. I can do whatever I want to do. Whatever I'm great at, I'm going to do it. And when the time comes, I'm going to do it. But when it comes to my wife, I'm supporting my wife. I'm pushing her out there to do something greater than herself. And create break those generational curses that might be in her life.
Wow.
Things that she might be dealing with or may have faced over time. Everybody deserves the opportunity to break a generational curse. Wow. And an opportunity to be great. This was her moment. I'm going to stand behind her in her moment. And y'all can see it. Y'all have watched it play out on my page. I'm not just coming on your show talking.
Yeah, you the man.
It's on there,
Yeah. So you know what? So we definitely want to, we didn't mean to cut you off, but we definitely want you to take these next few minutes and share. Listen to this. So I believe what you're saying is that a real man has no issue when it's time to push his woman out there. Baby, if you're the one with the realty company like Mike Tay is, if you're the one with the Gone Girl book, whatever I'm doing, right, handling your business, right, then guess what? I don't have an issue with, and I'm not going to ever have an issue with walking in your shadow, Angela Mite, because I'm a real brother, and me pushing you out there means I push you're bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, as the word says, right? Tell us this. Go out there right now. Go fishing, Mr. September, and talk to us about your wife's business. This is brotherhood for real. Talk to my brothers about how to really promote their woman. Go do that.
If you really want your woman to succeed, because that's the thing. Sometimes we get into our own ego and jealousy. We get jealous of our own people's success. It could be a friend, it could be whatever. If you are secure in who you are, you secure that what you do, and when your time comes, you're going to be great at it, and they're going to push what she's got going on, because, hey, this is your better half. If your thing ain't working right now, what you going to do? You would rather be broke and prideful, and your wife sitting on $1 million opportunity.
You better come on here.
And you gonna sit prideful because your thing ain't moving, or you want it to move where you want it to move? Stop the bullshit. Okay. I'm sorry to curse pastor, but I'm gonna tell the truth. Stop the bullshit and push behind your woman. Back her play, man. Like, it's not that hard. These guys are making it so hard. It's not that hard, man. Back her play. Stand with her and do what needs to be done. And play your role, play your position. And when it's over with, you ain't gonna pursue what's yours. I'm telling you, God gonna bless you because you blessed her. You pushed your wife or your queen or whoever she is. If you love her that much and you're married to her, show it, man. Put your actions behind your talk.
September, what's the name of her September? What's the name of her business? And tell us how a couple of things. How do we get in touch with her to get her product? And I want you to talk to us about how they can get in touch with you. So, because I believe some churches are gonna be hitting you up saying, "Man, come talk to our man." Go ahead.
So they can follow my wife. She's on Facebook and on Instagram at Pookie Crack Cakes. Pookie crack. With the C.
Yeah.
Crack cake. And the slogan of it is one bite and you're addicted. That's what it's about. Listen, we promoting good cake. We promoting moist, delicious cake.
Oh, they are so delicious.
That man, when it melts in your mouth, that real from scratch with the cast iron caramel.
Yeah.
My wife makes that. She got the red velvet, the butter pecan praline, strawberry lemonade. I'm talking about that ooey, gooey, like just make you want to slap your mama so good. If anybody knows Joy Salter, if she did a video on her page, if you check out Toy Salter, you'll see her response to the caramel cake and that butter pecan praline. Toy Salter, man, she went crazy. She did a live video about it.
I saw it with Pastor Shirley Caesar.
Pastor Shirley Caesar,
yeah. Now
it's crazy.
They listen. What did I buy? I bought 3 cakes one year, and I even sent one down to Texas. My kids were going to Texas with their grandparents, and I sent that the peach one, the peach crown.
The peach crown. Oh man.
Yep.
So where are you guys? I didn't even ask this question, but where are you? Where do you live, September?
Well, we live out in the South Burbs. The bakery is going to be in Bronzeville, right in the old Abundance Bakery. I'm in Chicago.
Okay, see the way Maite is saying is like she had to ship them and bring them. Okay,
so she had to ship them for her daughter.
And then I shipped one. Yeah, they were so good. I couldn't decide which ones that I wanted, so I had just bought 3 one time, and I think I bought the red velvet, the praline, and another one, and then another time I bought the 2. I bought the peach crown royal peach cobbler cake. I sent one down to Dallas, and then we had one.
So where can we get them from right now? Where can we get? We go on her page and
order. We're at 2 locations. We're at my brother. We have a street team. So my brother's typically at Flippin' Flavors restaurant over on 95th and Longwood. He's always at Flippin' Flavors. You'll see him at Flippin' Flavors. He's on vacation this coming week, but I'll be there. So people get an opportunity to meet me if they come out. We're also, so if you get dinner at the Soul Food Lounge, a lot of people love the Soul Food Lounge now. The butter pecan praline is at the Soul Food Lounge.
Wow, that sounds so good.
Yes, it's at the Soul Food Lounge. So you can go there. And we're at Jerk 48. 67th and 95th Street location.
I know what that is. I eat from
so you can go there and you can get the cakes. But mostly, again, the street team has all the cakes. You can catch him at Flippin' Flavors, or he comes to different businesses. So if you're at a hospital or anywhere, all you would have to do is reach out to him, and he'll bring the cakes to you and take good care of you.
Y'all, Miss P. Mouse says, just looking at the pictures make my sugar go up. Y'all do know that sugar ain't a disease, right?
Not the sugar.
Diabetes is the disease. Anyway, okay. Then somebody else say, Robin Castro said, you definitely got my respect, September. Now go teach these brothers the same thing the same thing you're talking about. September, we got about a good 6 minutes left. 5 now. Tell us this. What's your final words to our brothers? If you know that what you're getting ready to say right now is going to help a unlimited amount of brothers, what exactly would you share with them right now?
To be true to yourself, first and foremost, to find out what your niche is and what you're good at and work towards that, to really kind of work on yourself before you even start talking about getting in love, falling in love, and going through the processes of love. Because you really got to get your thing going first, within, like finding who you are as a person first before you start going to look. I think a lot of times we go after people and we're broken, and we have to really stop doing that. We got to stop going after people, and we're hurting people because that person might have just gotten healed and they believe in you and you're broken. you know, and that hurts. That hurts. That's the worst part of it. Like, man, like I done just healed myself. I done went through these processes. I meet this guy and he's telling me these things, but he's really not who he say he is, or she's not really who she say she is. And now I'm back at square one mentally. I just broke somebody. It's almost when somebody gets killed, two people die, you know, because one person's going to jail for X amount of time and one person is dead. They're not here any longer. Wow. So we have to really, really start thinking and start just coming from a different place, coming from a place of love. I think a lot of times when we see our friends, this is another big thing. We see our friends successful and we become jealous and envious of our friends, of their success, instead of loving on them and saying and backing them and saying, hey, man, I'm here, man. I'm your biggest fan. Mm-hmm. I'm your biggest fan.
Wow.
Whether you give me a dime or not, I'm your biggest fan. I'm gonna promote you. I'm gonna big up you every time you post something that you doing that's great. I'm gonna big up you. That's how we start to change the narrative of all
Absolutely.
This stuff. The main problem is the jealousy and envy. Women, you know, guys get jealous over women. It be over little petty stuff. Somebody responded, a woman that he might have liked responded in a way to another guy.
Petty.
It's petty. It's like, come on, time to grow up, man. Time to grow up. Time to be men. And being a man doesn't always mean that you got to be the leader. Yeah, we living in a world right now where I'm telling you, women's empowerment is at its highest. And if you don't push the woman in front of you, push her out there, you're wasting your time. If you're already up there and you at that level, then that's fine. But if you're not there and she's there, push her to be great. That's all I'm saying. That's all you got to do.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Somebody says, just want to say, Ann, I finally got to see one of your shows and I love it. We grew up together. Okay, that's Miss. Yes, that's the Miles. Listen at this. September. How do they get in touch with you? Is it through your Facebook? How do we do that? Facebook. Let's do that. And then Maite, you
can follow me on September Petty. You're going to see September Petty. If you're going to know it's me, because I'm the only one.
Right? You're coming back, right? I mean, we're going to bring you back for some juice. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay. So we need to go to your Facebook page. Is that?
Yep.
One more time. Petty. How do we get you? September Petty.
Yep.
September Petty. Maite, good God from Zion. We hit 1,000 with this brother.
I told you he was great.
Tell her with a Y, Petty. Like Petty. Okay, I'm Petty, not with an I.
Okay, you Petty. That's
Petty,
what I said.
Yeah,
I'm with a Y.
Yeah, the invoice was petty, you know, that push.
Yeah.
that was petty, you know.
Very petty. That was me.
But yeah, I told you guys that he was amazing. I'm telling you, like, and I always tell you all the time, I love how you support your wife and you love your wife. I mean, that's important to me.
It's all in there.
And you know, I respect you so much.
Thank you
so much for doing this show. I believe that you have imparted into a lot of brothers and that they will walk away, you know, from this interview better. You know,
I truly hope so.
You know. And so thank you so much, even though, you know, you are petty and controversial.
We love that about you.
We do love that. You know, I do. I look, I'm right on your post when they say September. Sometimes I'm like, it's too early for this, girl. I mean, and some of the stuff people want to ask. But thank you for being who you are. And thank you for coming to you know, one sister to another. We greatly appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys. It's an amazing show, man. I love the questions, man. I love this rocking out with y'all. I'll definitely be back for another show. We got to do it again.
Okay, definitely. Listen, before we go, we cannot leave this place without making sure we pay some bills. And one of them is, y'all need to know what Maite does outside of one sister to another. Go ahead, Maite.
Okay, so I am a licensed Illinois realtor. If you would like to reach me, you can just text my name, MIEATA, to 85377. You'll get all of my contact information. I'll see that you have reached out. I'll call you back immediately. If you want to partner and on anything, just reach out to me. My email address, maitejohnson@gmail.com. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. Look me up. Let's connect.
Of course, I am one sister to another. We're the podcast with information, inspiration, and limitless godly affirmations. But I'm also, you can see my stuff right there. But also, I am Gone Girl Director, Gone Girl Executive Publisher of our first book, Gone Girl 31-Day Mass of Devotional. If you want the book, all you got to do is email me, or you can, of course, DM me on my Facebook, on my Instagram. You can get the book that way. But last but not least, if you need our show to come and host for you, you can do that by emailing Tamara Woodard at onesistertoanotherpr@gmail.com. Of course, don't you forget to get out there and tell somebody. Y'all need to subscribe to One Sister to Another Media 33, and you'll be alerted when we come on. Listen at this. We're getting ready to go. We'll see you out here next week. It's the month of men. Am I my brother's keeper? Today is a gift from God. What you do today is your gift back to him. Thank you all. Thank you, September. Thank you, Maite. Thank you.